Welcome to another show. Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 Western parodies in movies. Join us, won't you?
People of the land, the conclave of the New West. You know, morons.
That's a very smart horse, Chief.
Now that's horse for you, Barry. Great! You killed the invisible swordsman!
And starting things off at number 10 is My Name is Nobody from 1973.
If you go away, who's going to be left? Nobody.
The man's got to quit sometime.
Someone like you got to go out with style.
A meta-spaghetti western co-conceived by Sergio Leone that trades high drama for playful, self-referential slapstick and gags. Leone sends up his own tropes in epic fun. An aging gunfighter just wants to retire, but an annoying fan pesters him into fighting a gang of 150 outlaws. It stars Henry Fonda and Terence Hill and was co-conceived by Sergio Leone himself. Jack Beauregard, Henry Fonda, wants to sail off to Europe and leave his bloody past behind. A grinning drifter who calls himself Nobody refuses to let his idol go quietly. Nobody insists Beauregard can't retire until he takes down the entire 150-man Wild Bunch in a glorious history-making finale. The title comes from the Odyssey, echoing how Odysseus tricks the Cyclops by saying his name is Nobody. And it's also kind of a play on Sergio Leone's own A Man with No Name as well. And this marked Henry Fonda's final Western film, serving as a literal and stylistic goodbye to classic American cowboy cinema. Ennio Morricone's score hilariously parodies his own dramatic past work, even warping Wagner's Ride of the Valkyries into a comedic march. At number 9, it's Cat Ballou, starring Jane Fonda. She enlists a drunken, nose-rubbing gunfighter, played by Lee Marvin, to protect her family ranch in a tight-hearted musical spoof. Catherine, Cat Ballou, comes home to find greedy land developers trying to steal her dad's ranch. A silver-nosed hired assassin named Tim Strawn, also played by Lee Marvin, shoots her papa. Desperate, Cat hires Kid Shillan, and yet again it's Lee Marvin, a legendary gunfighter who is now a full-time drunk. Cat and her silly gang turn to robbing trains to save their land, proving that revenge is best served with a catchy tune. In one classic bit, Marvin's horse stands leaning against a wall with its legs crossed, looking as tired as life as its rider. The trainer only got 1 hour to teach the horse that pose. When Lee Marvin won the Academy Award for Best Actor, he joked in his speech that half the statue belonged to a horse out in the valley. Marvin used to take a shot of vodka right before shooting scenes to get that authentic, wobbly Kid Shilling swagger just right. Legends Nat King Cole and Stubby K pop up throughout the film as singing narrators to move the story along.
Miss Parker didn't introduce us. I'm Catherine Ballou.
I'm drunk as a skunk.
This is a 7-shot 6-shooter,
Yeah?
and I had it specially made.
Why?
I don't know.
The next film on our list is The Villain from 1979. It's a live-action cartoon starring Kirk Douglas and Arnold Schwarzenegger that directly spoofs Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner dynamics within a traditional Western setting. Cactus Jack Slade, Kirk Douglas, is a terrible villain trying to rob Charming Jones and Margaret of her father's gold. Handsome Stranger, Arnold Schwarzenegger, escorts Charming while remaining totally oblivious to her romantic hints. Jack's Acme-style traps, painted tunnels on cliffs, and exploding dynamite consistently blow up in his face. Jack counts down a bank robbery. 1 closed the door, 2 opened the safe, 3 on the floor. When the clerk lies down, Jack taps him and says, "You forgot number 2, and the clerk yells that he did it already. Handsome Stranger proudly boasts about his 7-shot 6-shooter, which of course makes 0 sense. Jack's own horse, Whiskey, constantly makes facial expressions and whinnies to mock his terrible plans.
Did you hear me? Then what are you standing there for?
Kirk Douglas was 62 years old during filming and performed many of his own intense physical pratfalls and stunts. Schwarzenegger wore an outfit identical to the Lone Ranger's, just without the mask. The scene-stealing horse Whiskey was actually played by 8 different, nearly identical horses. Legendary comedian Paul Lynde made his final film appearance playing a Native American character called Nervous Elk.
The American West is a terrible place in time. Everything out here that's not you wants to kill you. Angry drunk people, hungry animals, outlaws.
Next film on our list is A Million Ways to Die in the West from 2014. Sixth MacFarlane's crude meta-comedy highlighting just how miserable, absurd, and lethal everyday life actually was in the old frontier. Albert Stark hates the frontier because it is essentially a live-action blender with spurs. When his superficial girlfriend Louise dumps him for Foy, the preening owner of the local mustachery, Albert is ready to pack it in for San Francisco. Enter Anna, a tough-as-nails newcomer who is secretly married to Clinch Leatherwood, a psychotic, heavy-breathing outlaw played by Liam Neeson with zero impulse control. Anna trains Albert to duel, romance blossoms, and Albert eventually has to face Clinch in a showdown that relies less on Clint Eastwood grit and more on venom rattlesnake biology. The scatological struggle. Life expectancy is roughly 32 minutes, mostly due to accidental ice block drops, rogue livestock, and unpasteurized milk. Albert proves that you don't need a 6-gun to win the girl, just low self-esteem and decent supply of sheep. Yes, you heard me right, sheep. Albert notes that the town's doctor's primary medical diagnosis for everything from a cough to missing limb is leach it out or drink whiskey until you stop thrashing. When challenged to a duel by Foy, Neil Patrick Harris' character immediately drops a period inappropriate "challenge accepted" straight out of How I Method acted in the 1800s. During a peyote trip with local Native American tribe, Albert's grand ancient death chant turns out to be him frantically belting out the lyrics to Baltimore's 1985 synth pop track, Tarzan Boy.
He's coming! And he's standing in the saddle!
Standing in the saddle?
Next on our list is the Rustlers Rhapsody. It's from 1985. Tom Berenger stars as an idealistic singing cowboy who walks out of a black and white film into a technicolor world of clashing genre cliches. Rex O'Hireland, Tom Berenger, is a man of immaculate white hats, designer fringe, and gentle acoustic refrains. He saunters into a frontier town expecting the usual routine: a cowering sheriff, a saloon hostess with a strictly platonic heart of gold, and black-hatted ruffians who only shoot when told. Instead, he stumbles into a genre identity crisis. The local cattle baron, Colonel Ticonderoga, Andy Griffith, decides that conventional bullying isn't working and hires a competing good guy, Patrick Wayne, to challenge Rex's monopoly on cinematic virtue. Rex must navigate existential debates about heterosexuality, progressive wardrobe choices, and the sheer exhaustion of living inside an endless trope. The saloon order. When Rex walks into a rough and tumble bar and asks for milk, the bartender gasps, realizing he broke the rule. Rex pivots and deadpans, "Give me a large glass of warm gin with a human hair in it." Rex refuses to kill. When threatened by a gang of outlaws, he calmly draws his weapon and shoots every single one of them strictly in the hand, leaving the bad guys staring at their bleeding palms in total bewilderment. During a tense, explosive street showdown, a man casually steps between the gunfighters to complain that their constant violence is drastically lowering neighborhood property values. The Police Academy Connection. Writer-director Hugh Wilson directed this immediately after his massive box office hit Police Academy from 1984 and brought along cast members G.W. Bailey and Brent Von Hoffman. Tom Berenger's immaculate cowboy look required 14 distinct designer cowboy suits, a dozen pairs of silver-tipped boots, and 10 identical 10-gallon hats. And there's also a Hollywood legacy co-star. Patrick Wayne, who plays the rival good guy, Bob Barber, is the real-life son of legendary Western icon John Wayne.
I'm Buster Scruggs.
You're shooting iron work.
The next film on our list is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs from 2018. It's the Coen brothers' dark, musical, and cynical anthology that pokes fun at the romanticized mythos of the American frontier. Buster Scruggs is a guy in a clean white suit who sings opera and shoots people in the face with a smile. It's like Bugs Bunny directed by a Grim Reaper who hates happy endings. A bank robber gets hanged twice before lunch because the universe simply refuses to let him have a peaceful exit. The Meal Ticket. An armless, legless actor recites poetry in the freezing cold until his manager trades him in for a mathematic gifted chicken. Yes, a chicken. Also, an old man digs for gold and plays hide and seek with a very stressed out bird. A sweet wagon train romance that proves love on the Oregon Trail comes with a shelf life shorter than a carton of milk. 5 people in a stagecoach argue about life and death while riding toward a hotel that looks suspiciously like the afterlife. The Coen brothers spent 25 years writing the different segments before finally filming them all as one movie. Tim Blake Nelson, Buster, did not actually do the high-pitched yodeling. It was dubbed by a professional yodeler named Randy Irwin. The movie is framed as a physical, turning-page storybook, but every single story inside it is designed to ruin your childhood cowboy dreams.
They used to call you the man with no name.
These days, they got a name for just about everything. Doesn't matter what they call you.
The next film on our list is Rango from 2011. It's an animated chameleon who lands in a parched desert town, adopting every spaghetti western trope and Eastwood-esque persona imaginable. A sheltered pet chameleon gets stranded at the Mojave Desert after a car accident. He stumbles into Dirt, a thirsty frontier town full of nervous critters. He invents a tough guy backstory, names himself Rango, and accidentally kills a hawk. The town makes him sheriff, but a water shortage and a creepy rattlesnake threaten his big lie. He spends more time picking an acting persona than figuring out how to find water. It has Clint Eastwood vibes. His squints, walks slow, and stares down danger like he's forgot his glasses. The movie features a mystical cameo by the man with no name, voiced to look and sound just like Clint Eastwood. Now, Johnny Depp recorded his voice while actually acting out the scene in full cowboy gear with the other actors.
You feinted with your left shoulder getting him to go for his gun while you were going for yours with your right hand at the same time. It's an old Arizona trick.
The number 3 film on our list is Support Your Local Sheriff from 1969. James Garner plays a dry-witted drifter who takes a badge for cash and outsmarts a bumbling outlaw clan using sheer cleverness. A gold rush hits the messy frontier town of Callender, Colorado, turning it into a lawless circus. Drifter James McCullough, James Garner, rides in on his way to Australia. He needs pocket money and takes the job of sheriff. He immediately arrests the mayor's rival son, Joe Danby, and casually locks him in a jail that doesn't even have prison bars yet. Armed with a deadpan stare and supreme confidence, McCullough plays the rowdy outlaws against each other until they defeat themselves.
He's dead and you're alive. That's the whole idea of the game, isn't it?
What's your name?
Jason McCullough. What's yours?
Joe Danby.
The sheriff keeps the volatile prison locked up simply by drawing an imaginary line on the floor and telling him not to cross it. When asked how a prisoner stays put without bars, the answer is pure psychological warfare and sheer stubborn bluffing. Garner's character is always just 5 minutes away from leaving for Australia, except the frontier keeps politely needing him to save it first. Jack Elam, who plays Deputy Jake, had a famous wandering left eye caused by a childhood pencil accident at age 11, which the film uses brilliantly for comedic effect. The wanted poster for Ben Silas on the jail wall is the exact same prop used on the set of the TV show Gunsmoke. Studio executives initially thought the movie was a complete flop during its first week, but James Garner personally spent $10,000 to keep it in theaters, letting word of mouth turn it into a massive hit.
No, we will not die like dogs. We will fight like lions, because we are the Free Amigos!
The number 2 film on our list is The Three Amigos from 1986. 3 silent-era B-movie actor cowboys, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short, are mistakenly recruited by real Mexican village actual bandits. The 3 vain actors get fired for demanding a bigger dressing room and a larger chest size on their movie vests. The mistake: a desperate village watches their heroic silent movie and sends a telegram begging them to come and kill El Guapo. Now the actors think it means paid public appearances, but after arriving in colorful surapes, they try to do singing cowboy routines at actual outlaw.
Oh, great! Real bullets! You're in a lot of trouble, mister!
Realizing the danger, they panic, bumble through accidental heroics, and accidentally save the day with a singing bush and a lot of luck. Now, why did they bring singing telegrams to a gunfight? Because their only other skill was looking good on a horse while wearing velvet. Now, this is the only movie where getting hit in the head with a bag of flour counts as tactical warfare. Now, El Guapo claims to have many leather-bound books, but his gang's idea of reading material is a wanted poster with a poorly drawn mustache. The film was co-written by Steve Martin, Lorne Michaels, who created Saturday Night Live, and Randy Newman, who also wrote the catchy songs. The actors' iconic sequined rodeo outfits weighed so much they nearly required stuntmen just to get on their horses. The famous scene where a desert bush starts singing background vocals was completely improvised on the spot.
When that railroad goes through Rock Ridge, that land will be worth millions. I want it.
I say we stay and fight it up!
And the number 1 parody of Westerns is Blazing Saddles from 1974. Mel Brooks' masterclass satirizes classic Western tropes, racism, and Hollywood conventions with anarchic, fourth-wall-breaking humor.
Hey, boys! Look what I got here!
Hey, where are the white women at?
A greedy state official wants to bulldoze the town of Rock Ridge for a railway, so he sends a black sheriff named Bart to anger the racist locals. Sheriff Bart teams up with a washed-up alcoholic gunslinger known as the Waco Kid to save the day instead. The ridiculous fight spills off the movie set, punches through the studio commissary, and ends with the heroes riding off into the sunset in a shiny white limousine. Bart sets up a toll booth in the middle of the empty desert, and the bad guys actually stop to pay it. The Beans, a classic chaotic campfire scene where the cowboys eat too many baked beans and create the loudest sound effects in movie history. When the townsfolk pull out guns on Bart, he holds a gun to his own head and yells, "Nobody move or the N-word gets it," tricking the panicked bigots into letting him go. Richard Pryor was originally co-written and slated to star as Sheriff Bart, but studio executives refused to insure him, so Cleavon Little took the role. Now, the famous fart scene was the first time flatulence was ever explicitly used and heard in a major Hollywood comedy. Gene Wilder and Cleavon Little improvised parts of their chemistry, and many of the townsfolk extras' shocked reactions were completely real. And that was our show for today. What did you think? What was your favorite parody of the Old West? Is there a Western parody that you think should have made this list, but didn't? Let me know in the comments section below. And while you're at it, I'd be honored if you subscribe to my channel, click the little bell to stay informed, and check out the Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter franchise also in the comments section. Until next time, this is Kevin Gibbons saying, live long and prosper. May the Force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.